Zone at 91.3 presents The B-Side.
Dan Gomez! Dylan Wills.
Hi, Dan.
Hey, Jason. It was great to spend some time with you last week at Rifflandia.
I enjoyed that as well. Sorry for breaking your turntable.
No, it still works.
Oh, good. Okay, excellent.
You're just not allowed to touch anything in his office ever again. That's all.
Fair enough.
What's on the B-side today, my friend?
Well, it's Rifflandia weekend, and that's one of my favorite times of year. And just last weekend we were on. I guess it was Saturday night, right? We were at Thinklandia.
Yeah.
That day there was beer fest, there was rib fest, there was a chalk festival. Like, I remember not that long ago in this city, like any one of those things was a marquee event for that quarter of the year.
For the season,
you know, and now it's so great. And now right on the back of it, we got Rifflandia, and Riffdandia is ready to go.
Riff Dan.
Yeah, I love this weekend, and I'm really excited. We're doing some tech stuff in town, and a person I consider a friend, the guy who was the chair of the board at Viatech that actually came to me and said, we want you to be CEO of Viatech, is named Eric Jordan. And he has this company here in town that he's the CEO of called Codename Entertainment. And they make video games here. So they released this game, Crusaders of the Lost Idols. And it's what's called an idle game. The board moves, you can log out and the game keeps playing for you. You keep building up powers and coins and benefits and things like that. And there are so many games being released right now. It's unbelievable because there's not a lot of barriers to entry. You have an idea, you can create this game,
and it's a very lucrative business.
It can
really.
be, yeah. But it's so competitive now. It's kind of like people think like, oh yeah, if you make an app and it goes in the app store, you're going to get rich. Not the case. Lots of competition. It's really difficult to do it right. And the interesting thing, this company Codename Entertainment used to be called DJ Arts, but named the D and the J. Not Dylan and Jason, but were the first letters of the founders of the company. They were guys at UVic that came up with an idea for a game and built it, and it worked, and it sold, and they made a bunch of money, and now they employ like 20 people.
Wow!
And so Codename Entertainment released this game, and the reason I talk about how hard it is you're going to see games launch, and they're going to be great, and they're just not going to connect with the market. They're not going to take off. This game, Crusaders of the Lost Idols, has gone to #1 on a site called Congregate, which is the largest sort of gaming platform. I think they're about to be launched on Steam, which is, that's the badass, cool site for all video games. #1 idle game, #1 most played game on Congregate. They're hitting millions of users on a daily basis, and it's blowing up. And I get a call from Eric. He's like, hey, Rifflandia is coming up. I really want to get my entire staff to go out and see Towers and Trees. I know they're playing twice. I was like, oh, wow, that's really cool. I saw them once before at another event. I think it was Rifflandia the year before, or even the year before that. Or actually, it was the Viatech Christmas party. We had Towers and Trees play in what wasn't District then, whatever that was.
Right, I remember that.
And
yeah.
so he sees that, and I'm like, oh yeah, cool. And I'm like, why? And he's like, in our game, the soundtrack of our game is written by Towers and Trees.
That is so cool.
So they when you're building the game, there's so much consideration. There's storytelling, there's art, there's obviously the game dynamics and the programming, and you can't get any of that wrong. But for them to take the time to be like, well, when we get this soundtrack, we're not just going to go get some available free thing. We're going to work with a local musician and do this. So
we actually have it here. Let's have a listen.
Yeah, listen to it.
Pretty funky.
You know what? I started playing the game a few days ago just because I want to know what it's all about, and I don't turn it off. I leave it just playing in the background. Doom, 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 doom.
Yeah, it's kind of a cool driving beat.
I want that playing on speakers whenever I walk
into the door.
Yeah, just
I'm Black Betty. I own Black Betty. That's what Ram Jam or Bam Lam Dang Jang Bang Bang. That's my song.
If I ever blow up a building when I'm walking away in slow motion, I want Highball Stepper.
Okay, fine.
Right?
Fine.
But so they work with them, and Goodwood Adams out of Vancouver. They collaborated to help put the looping together, and so now this entire team and their families are going to go see Towers and Trees at Rifflandia, and they're already talking about the next game that they're going to work on. So I thought, what a great combination of art and technology and entrepreneurship and local mentality. So it's the perfect B-side.
It really is. What's the website?
Always check thebside.com.
Thanks so much, Dan. We'll see you
Dan.
out there. Riffdandia!